I think I'm like a lot of you. Who here is just like, loves what they do, an expert, started to figure it out, then wants to help other people figure it out, right? Does that sound like a lot of you? That's how I started. So number one, right, I'm going to teach a non-marketing to start. I really believe it starts with your mindset, okay? Next slide. And I call this millionaire mindset. And I learned this because, you know, throughout my agency and all our coaching programs, we have so many people where we tell them exactly what to do, and then they get in their own way. So before I tell you exactly what to do, I want to just talk about mindset for a second, and I think someone said it earlier, you can only ever earn what you can envision, right? So when I said, hey, all of you can make $10 million companies, the first thing that's important is you will actually believe you can build at least a $10 million company. And that can be hard because I didn't come from money, even though my parents were good athletes, they earned no money, right? And a lot of you in this room, just from listening this morning, you're just like me, where you were passionate about something, got good at it, decided to maybe teach a few people, and that turned into this big business. Right? But sometimes that money mindset isn't caught up with you yet. So that's a big lesson as you're scaling to millions. And I've also learned you'll crumble and fail on roadblocks based on the perception of your reality and your mindset. Because you know, as you grow your business, it actually gets harder, not easier, I'm afraid to tell you. But one thing I can tell you is you become far better equipped to handle the hard times, right? And the failures. So that mindset is so important. And you know, your speed of growth will match your surroundings. So you're in the right room being here today, because getting in the right rooms, like I've spoke at over 200 events. I was at one point in like 6 masterminds paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to be in them. But those relationships, those connections, those people have become business partners, best friends, and helped me achieve the success I've achieved at a pretty young age, okay? So do whatever it takes to get in these rooms, and you know, props to Teachable to throw in this sort of thing, because it's hard to get a bunch of great people in a room, okay? So once you've got the mindset right, and you've really set those big goals, and you've got that, you know, that big figure that inspires you, and look, for a lot of us, it's not about money. To me, money is just a measurement of success and impact, right? And it's an easy way to describe it. For you, it might be helping 100,000 people achieve something, right? Or 5,000 people, whatever that number is. What's really important and will separate the products that go on and make millions of dollars and the 9 that you launch and they flop and fail, right, and you scratch your head, is how well you position your product, okay? And one of the biggest problems every creator will make, and I made it for many years, and it stopped me helping millions of people and making a lot of money, was you know your product's great, but you don't portray it in a way that they know it's great. And that's a massive difference. You can have the best product in the entire world, but if you can't portray that in a couple of seconds and make them believe that, then it doesn't matter how good it can be, right? Here's how you really craft a really hot and strong product and offer. Next slide, please. I call them ridiculously irresistible offers, okay? And most of us make the mistake of selling a few benefits or a few deliverables or a few of here's what you get, here's what's included, versus selling an actual offer, a result, a solution, a promise, okay? Because people don't wake up in the morning and go, I'm really looking for someone with those 7 PDF things that they're going to give me, right? People wake up and say, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthier, I want to have more energy, I want to earn more money, I want to travel the world, right? I want to figure out how to actually use this sewing machine that I paid $25,000 for that I learned about today, right? But they don't think about the 9 PDFs that show them how to use the sewing machine. But the problem is most of us creators, we tell everyone about the 9 PDFs they're going to get, not the result when they go through the PDF, okay? And that one distinction there as an example is very, very, very important. It's the difference between helping 100,000 people and helping nobody, okay? Even though the content's all the same, okay? That one distinction. So this is a good way to look at it, okay? And I use this with a lot of our members when we coach them through this, is your unique selling point, okay? And really, it should be what you do well, which pretty much most of you know at this point, right? But then you've got to look at what does your competition do, okay? And then you have to go, how do I also understand what my customer really wants? Okay, and once you know those 3 things, you just take a step to the left or the right, And that's how Netflix was created, that's how Uber was created, that's how Instacart was created, that's how Robinhood was created. All these disruptive companies, because they go, this is what people want, this is what the competition's doing, and then we're going to do this, right? We're going to take Blockbuster, and we're just going to stream it online instead, okay? We're going to take the taxi industry, and we're going to build it in an app on everyone's phone, right? And call it Uber. Okay, so it's very important to understand that at this point, most industries have been created. Okay, you're just trying to find a gap in the marketplace in your industry and a way to position yourself. Okay. Next slide, please. And these are 7 components of an irresistible or a great offer. Okay, and you should really look through what you're selling and check you have these, and kind of have this as a checklist when you create your next offer or product. Okay. And this is just a screenshot of one of our offers. And what I want to give you as an example there is I came a few years ago. I'm now known for branding and building businesses and celebrity marketing. But about 5 years ago, I was more well known as like a Facebook ad expert and a marketing expert, right? So I used to do a lot of Facebook ad courses, marketing courses, but it was a very saturated industry. And one day we sit down and go, how do we create a unique offer that's a step to the right or left, just like I showed you? And we figured it out one day, and we did over $10 million in 2 years selling that one ad course. And it's the same, ad stuff that I was teaching, and probably very similar to what other experts are teaching, right? Because there's only so many ways you can teach how to drive a car or use a sewing machine or run ads. You're going to have your own little spin, but a lot of things are going to stay true to everyone, okay? The only thing that's different is how we packaged it and presented it. So what's important? Well, firstly, like I said, the unique selling point, right? How do you differentiate yourself? Next is the deliverables. But remember, people don't care as much about the 9 PDFs. They care about what those 9 PDFs can do for them and the result they will get if they go through that, okay? And that's where you come to the benefits, outcome, and results. That's all people care about, okay? In marketing, one tip I give is remember people are selfish. They don't care about you. They don't care about your brand. They don't care about your 9 PDFs. They care about one thing. What can you do for me? If I give you money, what do I get back? Okay, so try and make that super clear. Obviously, an important part of an offer is the price, okay? Price in terms of payments. You can have the best slice of bread in the world, the best loaf of bread in the world. But if it's $2 million, is anyone going to buy it? Probably not, because of the price discrepancy, right? So you've got to make sure the price also matches the industry, the way you're selling it, and the way it's consumed. 3 big variables that will dictate price, okay? Not just the product, the way it's consumed and how you're presenting it. And here's an interesting thing with price most people don't realize. You can sell the same kind of thing, but package and present it and deliver it a different way and change the price from a $7 course to a $50,000 coaching program or agency, right? So I can teach Facebook ads. I have products for $7. I even have free products. Or I can work with you for a year and help you run your ads for $50,000. Same thing, working on your Facebook ads, but the price has gone from pretty much 0 to 50,000 just because of the way it's delivered and packaged, okay? After that, bonuses, a very good marketer that I became friends with when I first moved to America 9 years ago said one thing that always stuck with me. Rudy, make your bonuses so good that people will buy your product just for the bonuses, okay? So it's a great tip. Guarantee. I give my members a similar tip back now. I say make your guarantee so good that it makes you nervous to write it and makes the customer feel comfortable. Because every business owner does the opposite. They make the guarantee comfortable for us, the owner, and not that enticing for the consumer, okay? But really a guarantee's purpose is to do what? Reassure the buyer. That's why we have guarantees, right? So you want to make the guarantee a little bolder where it's actually you're kind of putting your neck on the line and going, hey, I really believe in this product. And as long as you do X, Y, and Z, this is what I believe the product will give you back, okay? And then urgency, right? Most of the time, once obviously a lot of you start with promoting to your YouTube channel, your socials, your email list, right? But that's only ever going to get you so far. You're probably not going to make tens of millions of dollars doing that alone unless you're a celebrity, right? Because it's only going to have a certain pool size, right? Eventually, you're going to have to advertise to people that don't know you. And that's a totally different ball game than advertising to your email list, okay? It's called cold traffic in my marketing world, and it's what I became very famous for as an expert. And when you're advertising to cold traffic, they need a reason to buy now. Why? Because they were on Facebook a second ago looking at cat photos and their friend's vacation. Now they ended up clicking a page and they're in this funnel, right? And then they're like, what is this? Am I really going to buy this? I was like looking at cat photos a minute ago. So why should they buy now? Because if they leave, they're not coming back. As good as your retargeting ads are going to be, maybe they have a 4% conversion rate, which means 96% still aren't coming back. Maybe 4 will come back if you're lucky, right? So all of these things, and this is a massive mistake most people make that stops them getting to 10 million and keeps them at that 1, 2 million or half a million, is everything that worked to email lists and warm traffic will not work to cold traffic. All of these things become so much more important, right? It's like playing basketball against a bunch of 3-year-olds. You probably, if you're an adult, you're going to be successful. Now, if you go and play basketball against a bunch of adult players that are actually ex-college, you're going to be in trouble, okay? And it's the same with your landing pages and your business and your product. Doing it, sending it to your email list is like playing against a bunch of 3-year-olds. They love you. You say buy, they say, okay, where's the button, right? We all experience that with our email list. But when you then advertise to millions of people that have no clue who you are and they think you're a scam artist because you're running Facebook ads, then you have to work a lot harder to do all of these things in just a few seconds before they get bored and go and look at cat photos again, okay? So these are some examples of like how I learned over time to change the way I position an offer. Because it's very easy to say, join this program and learn how to do stock trading while you're traveling, okay? But what's better than that is say, learn how to trade your first stock tomorrow and book your first trip the next day, right? So it's just 2 slight changes, but it now has way more clarity in what they get, okay? Because remember, people are coming for a clear deliverable and a clear promise, okay? So after we've got a good offer, right, I really do believe everything starts with that. You've got to build a brand around it. So next slide, please. And this wasn't as true 5 years ago. 5 years ago, you could just run ads, do JVs, do affiliates, promote your list, and if you had a really cool, clear offer, people would buy it. Now there's so much competition, everyone needs a brand. Whether you like it or not, or know it or not, you all are brands in this room. People are buying because of you, and people that aren't buying are checking who you are to make a buying decision. And one activity I do a lot of my members, we won't have to do it right now, but I encourage you to do it today, is open a browser on your phone in incognito or private and Google yourself and go to your Instagram and then say, if I was a customer, would I buy based on what I see right here? Because that's exactly what all your customers are doing, okay? Because that's how we verify online. So yeah, ads are getting harder, right? A lot of you have probably tried ads or wanted to try ads or heard stories of ads. 5 years ago, ads were much easier. There was way less competition. They cost way less. Now, everyone's trying to run ads, and they've become much harder. I was telling someone earlier, when I first started running ads, I was making $5,000 a day profit, like pure profit, selling a $19 product. And then I tried to relaunch that a couple of years ago for a celebrity with a bigger name than me, and we were losing $20 a customer. So we were losing money instead of making money per sale. And that funnel still worked because we had a back end and other products and courses and stuff, but we're not making money on the first sale anymore. And most businesses aren't at scale, right? Because ads do cost more. But if you can combine a great personal brand or a brand for your company with traffic, cold traffic, that's really how you get to $10 million and beyond, okay? So a couple of examples I like here of how brands have got creative and advertisers have got creative. And I think it's a follow-up for the last bullet point of with your brand, don't be boring, okay? Because again, we see so many adverts every day. We see so many creators every day. We see so many influencers every day. Small little discrete changes in how you position yourself, how you create your content, your landing pages can make a big difference, okay? This is just another one of thousands of billboards advertising a TV show, but in how they created this, it changes with the sunrise is very creative, okay? Typically, bags are pretty boring. We all agree, right? IKEA was able to make a brand around their bag, okay? When I went to college, everyone had a bunch of these bags to move all their stuff in out of college, okay? And for some reason, these bags still appear in most houses I ever visit, right? Families' houses. My wife still has some. So they were able to just get a little creative and make something fun out of a very boring, mundane object, okay? Okay, so next is I'm going to talk about price point and not just selling one price point, okay? I think it's very, very easy and we fall into this mistake of just selling like a course, right? That's how I started. And for my first business, I really only sold stuff under $100 mostly. I added some things for a few $100s, and I went back and I did the maths, and I took all my customers, and then I added on if I had sold more high-ticket options. In 3 years, I missed out on about $25 million in upsells, just for context, okay? So this is my $25 million mistake that I'll teach you guys so you don't have to live through that. But add in what we call an ascension model, right? Where it's you're ascending customers through a process to go deeper with you, right? And to work with you. And one of the great ways to do that is high ticket. So the big mistake a lot of people make is they focus on the front end or the first sale, okay? Who here focuses mostly on getting that first sale with a customer? A lot of us, right? Well, every billion-dollar company does the opposite, okay? Every billion-dollar company loses money on the first customer, and they make all their money after, okay? And if you ever only focus on making money on the first sale, you'll never be a big company, because every big company is willing to lose money to buy that same customer that you're trying to make money from, and you just won't compete, okay? It's like if you do a bidding thing on eBay, right? If you bid $1, but someone else is willing to pay $20, how many times are you going to win that bid? The answer is 0, right? Because it's going to go to the highest bidder. It's the same in business. When you're advertising, whether you're trying to get a partnership, a JV, an affiliate, right? If you go, hey, I've got a fitness product, and you go to your affiliate, I'll pay you $20 for every sale. And then another brand comes along that has a good back end and says, I'll pay you $50 for every sale. And you have the same product and it sells the same way, who's the affiliate going to go with? The $50 person, right? So you're going to win long-term in business by being able to pay as much as possible to acquire a customer. But when we start out, our goal is logically the opposite. How can we pay as little as possible to acquire a customer, right? Which obviously should be a goal when you're advertising, but you should build a back end where you can pay a lot to acquire a customer because you make 10 times more from that customer over time, okay? So strong back end makes you, it actually lets you spend more and grow faster because you're making more on the back end. It lets you go into what we call the red, so actually losing money on day one. And really, like if you want to grow a big company, you want to see it as front end, new customer acquisition is exactly that. The only goal of getting new customers is to get them in your ecosystem. You don't need to make money from them. You just want them to join your community, right? And you're going to make all your money over time by them now being a fan and in your community. So when it comes to crafting higher ticket offers and different offers, you want to understand that in most industries, 5 to 10% of customers will always want more. And depending on the industry, they're going to pay in these tiers, okay? Now, some industries have different tiers. Maybe that industry or niche doesn't have maybe high net worth individuals, so it might be on one of these lower tiers where it's 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. But many of you in the room will be in industries where people will happily pay 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. And right now, if you don't sell products like that, you literally have 5 to 10% of customers that want to pay that, okay? So in every population, there's a percent that want to pay to go VIP, and it's your job to offer them that opportunity, because if not, you're doing them a disservice. If American Airlines says you can't fly first class, I say, great, well, I'm going to Delta then, okay? If Universal says we're not doing fast pass, I go, well, I'm going Disney. I'm not lining up for 2 hours, no chance. Can't pay me, I'm not paying you. You couldn't even pay me to line up for 2 hours, okay? So if you're advertising to your customers and saying, hey, pay $50 for this course, you can go through it and download all the PDFs, that customer says, I'm not even doing that. I don't have time for the PDFs. Just get on a call and tell me exactly what to do. Or even better, can you just do it for me? So how do we sell on the back end, right? Coaching, one-to-one sessions. Maybe it's delivered differently. Maybe they get a book and a binder. Maybe they get DVDs, right? Done-for-you service, okay? Maybe you send them templates. Maybe you do the landing page for them. Maybe you send them the best stocks to trade, right? Membership sites, maybe you build a community where they get access to other members, they get live Zoom calls with you, they get one-on-one with someone on your team, okay? And then what we do in my space is called masterminds, right? We have a 25, 50, and 100K mastermind, and we have a lot of members in those that pay to come to those events. And guess what? 50% of the room in the 25K mastermind started by buying a $7 to $97 product with me. And they had no clue who I was. They said, I saw this crazy red ad. I had to click it. Your branding was great. Next day, I was on a call with one of your sales teams, and I wired 20K. That's literally, I have heard that 100 times, okay? Because we have a good ascension model. When we talk about creating the pipeline, to me, this is kind of the process you should go through when you create your business model. And we've talked about some of this. What is the unique selling point, right? And our offer, okay? How are we packaging that together and creating different packages and ways of packaging it to charge different prices, right? Because both tickets to Disneyland get you in the park, but one of them costs 5 times more because of a couple of changes, okay? Both flights get you from Miami to Nashville. One was $200, one was $1,000, just a couple of changes, right? So how do we package it differently to change the price and the outcome? Next, how do we get awareness on it? That's the traffic phase. Okay, most of you right now, traffic comes from ads, social media, email list, JV affiliates, right? So how do we get more awareness? Next, how do we get leads? Okay, because a lead generally comes before a customer. Obviously, a lot of the time we sell directly, but sometimes we get inquiries and then we upsell, right? How do we get the first purchase? We just talked about that. Changing our mindset a little to being like, hey, that's not where the sales stop. That's where the sales start, okay? Who's the best buyer? The person that just bought, right? So change your mindset to be, oh, this isn't where we just do fulfillment now. No, these are your best customers that are going to buy more and more and more and double or triple your business without you having to get any more customers, right? And that's these last 3 things. How do we upsell them, right, into different products and services, which increases the lifetime value and in turn gives us massive brand authority because now we have hundreds of customers raving about us out there that build our tribe and community and maybe go on and promote us and give us referrals and all of those things, okay? So to build that, to have that kind of pulled together, a lot of you might say, well, Rudy, what's the best funnel? What's the best sales process? And I always try and teach, like, I'm not this advocate that does this one thing. I built thousands of funnels. We built over 10,000 landing pages and funnels through our agency. But they are all different per customer because your product's different, your niche is different, how you advertise, how you speak to them and communicate to them. So you've got to just understand what's the best one for me, okay? And even if you have a great product or great copy, if you're using the wrong type of funnel, it won't be successful. And just remember, guys, you can all build $10 million companies. Just move fast, okay? Because most of the time, we're too slow to take action and try these things. It can happen in 1 year, or it could happen in 10 years. The choice is yours, and the only difference is you. Thank you.